Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Hurts. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. The tackle by Nakobe Dean. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Cowboys had 8-6 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far, and that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
A first down carry by Elliott. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Play action. Now Trubisky. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with career touchdown number 75. And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. A trick shot on the extra point, but it is good off the left upright. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
No running room for Zeke on first down, as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucks and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Maher is good, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
From the 27, Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Dallas Goedert, of course, he'll do well in this stadium. He's got a first down. 17-0 our score after one. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Ready? So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Hurts. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there. But that call makes sense, because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. It's caught on the right side of Smith. Touchdown! Devontae Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a bit closer. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff, and don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the option to give to Sermon here. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
2nd and 8. Again, it's Sermon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Take it in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Swinging this out for Pollard. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on second down. Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Oh, nice move. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he will have a first down as they're into field goal range now at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now back to the ground with Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Marr is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Hey, 18.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 102 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Well, you don't become a 2-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run. It's a jet sweep. Trubisky pops it forward. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
18.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick-6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense, delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is down to a field goal. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The last time everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick-6, and now they've got to come right back out here, Charles, and try to pick up the pieces and get things going again.
Yeah, certainly seems dire, doesn't it? But there is a silver lining, and it is hard to see so soon after that touchdown. But the game plan was definitely working. They were generating offense, had the ball beyond midfield, getting wins on each down against the defense. So they are moving it well. They just have to hang on to it.
Yeah, as you said, though, probably tough to remember those good things on that last drive when it ended like it did. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, that he always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught, They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. Looking here for Smith downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's a jet sweep. Trubisky pops it forward. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. We're off to the fourth quarter here on Christmas Eve. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Trubisky will throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Jabril Cox there on the tackle.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Flush to his right. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need him to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
Ready. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Sermon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll set up a throw. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have taken a 4th quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the 2nd half. They'll need to change that here. Micah Parsons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Here we go, here we go.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he's got some space here. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away.
Here we go. Strike.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
It went for broke on 3rd down, and it would have really lit up the sideline if that one had worked. What do they do now on 4th down?
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This will get the lead up to 7. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get...
Now Trubisky lost the football, and it's picked up by the Eagles. Look at the big man rumble. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Pollard to return from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. No big surprise. Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And that could be a killer. He'll lose yardage and tackled inbounds.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
On the jump. Ready.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Come on, come on. Hey.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Eagles, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12 and